everybody, it's Amanda from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk. Today I'm going to make a box. I'm using basic black and this is a 12 by 12 sheet, and first of all I'm just going to cut it straight in half at 6. So you can make the base for 2 boxes out of this, okay? And you just need some extra pieces for some flappy bits. So that's the first bit cut, and then we want 2 pieces at, I'm going to use this because I don't have a scrap. No, I don't. I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 2.5 by 7. Okay, let me just see. No, 2.5 by 7. I'm going to do the full process, so it might be a long video. I'm going to cut this, no, I am going to cut it at 7 and then I'll trim it later. It's going to be a full process, so stick with me. I'm going to do it all from start to finish. So I'm cutting another one now at 2.5 by 7. So that includes all of my cutting, all of my DSP cutting. I'm going to do all the lot live. Quite often we come pre-prepared, and you know, it doesn't always show margins of error, you know, if we do it wrong. Right, so for these 2 smaller flaps here, and first of all I'm going to score them at 2 on the short side, so down the length I'm going to score them at 2. Okay, and then I'm going to score them at each end at 2. Okay, it's just easier than reeling off a load of measurements if I just say 2 at each end. Okay, so that's one. I'll do the other, so I'm going to score this one at 2. All the measurements will be over on my blog at scrimpingmommy.co.uk, so you can make this box yourself. You can adapt the sizes to make it bigger or smaller or wider or fatter or whatever. 2 inches each end. Turn and score. Okay, so that's my 2 pieces done, and then my long piece that I cut, which was 6 inches by 12, I'm going to score on the long side, and I'm going to score it at, let me just find my measurements, 2, 5, 7 and 10. I'm working in inches, so 2, 5, 7 and 10. And this box was directly inspired by one that I got for Christmas with MAC makeup in it. The concept of it's nothing new. MAC didn't even invent it, but it's where I got the idea to make this box. Okay, so I can move that out of the way now. So now I'm going to fold and burnish all of my score lines using my bone folder, which was lovingly gifted to me from Mary over in America. We used to help each other out at one point. She's a lovely, lovely lady. So if you're in America and you're stuck for a demo, you couldn't do bad by looking up Mary Troutner. She's lovely. So I'm going to score them all. Okay. And then I'm just going to put that to one side a minute while I work on these pieces. So these pieces here, I'm going to fold and burnish these as well. Okay. Do them both. Hope you can see that. It's difficult when you're working with black cardstock. You can't always see it. But there we go. We've got 2 squares either side along apart there, and then we've got our small strips here. Now what I want to do is I want to cut away the top 2 skinny segments. Don't need them. I only need the middle one. Okay. So I'm going to cut those away. You can make this box to absolutely any size you want. You can make, I mean, the one that I got originally with my makeup in is huge, you know, but you could replicate it by joining 2 sheets of 12 by 12 together to get the size you want. Don't let your creativity be determined by what size cardstock you've got. Stick some together. Okay, so this would be nice for a small gift. You could put, well, just about anything in it. Sweet treats, you could put soaps, you could put toiletries, you could put stationery, you could make some little cards. There's loads and loads of uses for this box. Okay, so what I need to do now is just score from corner to corner there on this one, on each of my corners. The little squares here. We're going to go, let me just check that I'm doing it the right way. Hold on a minute, let me get my sample. Here's my sample. So we're going from this corner here. So this part has been folded in because that's going to attach to our box. So fold that in. And then with this on the top and that folded, we're going from that corner to that corner to that corner. Okay, if you get your scoring the wrong way around, then it won't, well, it won't fold. It won't be right. And, you know, just double check before you do it, because it's frustrating when you do something wrong. But what I would say is, if you've done it wrong, you know, it don't matter. Keep the piece that you've done wrong at the side of you, and then when you do the next one, you know not to do it the same way. And then when you get one that's right, keep it. Like the box that I've made here, I'm going to keep that. I'll keep it in a drawer of samples, and I've got it there, and I might make it again another day with something, you know, in a different size or a different colour, or you know, I'll keep it. Oh, well, I'll keep the instructions. I'll keep that for so long, then I'll bin it, and I keep everything that I've made in a file. Right, so we've done that. So now what we want to do is we want to attach these to the inside of our box. Now these panels, this is the back, okay? So you've got a small section, a larger section, a small, large, small. So this middle section here is like the back, it's like the spine of your box, okay? So these sections here want attaching to this part here. This is going to be your lid, all right? So I'm going to get some good old fast fuse, and it's going to behave. Probably not. Let me just check first of all. Actually, I'm just going to double check, because what I might need to do is I'm just going to have to just trim a sliver off each end. Just a hair of a sliver. Just because it's easier than trying to measure like 1/16 of an inch at each end. Just trim a sliver off, because it's black. If you've not cut it completely perfect, nobody will notice. Doesn't it matter? Doesn't matter on the on that bit, as long as it's not on that bit, if you know what I mean. It won't disturb any of your workings there. It would only disturb your workings if you cut that, which we're not. Right, so fast fuse on there, and then stick this before you stick any of these, and then you know you can't get it wrong. So I'm going to line it up. I don't want it right flush. I just want to leave a tiny gap. Just a tiny gap. Okay. There we go. Make sure it's kind of straight. There we go. So now we've got these little boxes that we've scored. So I'm going to just fold and burnish those backwards and forwards to make that crease nice and strong. And what we're doing is we need to adhere the top and the very bottom piece. Just that triangle there. Okay? The triangle that's nearest to the edge is what and you don't want any adhesive on this triangle here. Okay? So I'm just going to pull it back slightly and put some adhesive on there. I would probably use glue if I wasn't doing a video, but I want it to be quick. So I'm going to pull that one back as well. And I'm going to put adhesive here. If you put adhesive on the wrong ones, again, it won't open and close right. So be mindful of what you're doing, okay? So that is the bottom triangle there, closest to the corner there. and the top triangle closest to that edge, not the inside ones, because what it's going to do then is, if he coax it back, it's going to do the good old duck mouth, and your box is going to close like so, and it folds flat and it opens like so. And we don't ever put adhesive on these bits unless you really want to. You could, and then you could just have it like that, but I want it to be able to fold flat, so I'm going to leave it like so. So like I say, you could put more adhesive there and then your box would stay in that shape without moving. Okay, I'm going to leave it in the fold flat mode. And we just want to, did I trim the ends of that off? Let me just check. Can't remember now. I've gossiped too long. I've forgotten if I did trim it. So I'm now going to put fast fuse on my strip. Okay. And again, I'm going to, let me just roll that. I've got it a bit close to the edge there, so I'm just going to roll it onto it. So again, put it quite close to the edge, but not right up to the edge. Okay. And then you want that score line in line with that score line, and then press. Okay. Then fold these triangular bits, fold them back and forth a few times so that they've got some nice movement in them, and you've broken those fibres up. Same with this one, back and forth. I haven't even looked if I'm recording. If it stopped recording, I'd die. Right. So you're not going to be able to see terribly well because it's black, but there, if we do it on the shine there, you've got a square there and a square there. You've done a score down to there and a score to there. So it's like a big diamondy shape, and it opens like so. Okay. So again, I'm going to put adhesive on this bit and on this bit. Okay. That showed up a bit better then, didn't it, when I tilted it towards the light? If you're unsure, watch me again, pause it and follow along as I do it. Sometimes I find that easier if I see things, unless it's origami. And we're following a bloke doing origami the other day. And if he'd been here, I would have slapped him. I could not follow what he was doing. I'm not joking. I don't think origami is for me. I don't think you'll see me doing it. I don't have the patience. Right, so now that folds. Okay. I'm just going to make sure them folds are nice and crisp. And there's my box, basically. That is it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just need to burnish that. Could have done with burnishing a bit more, a bit better than that, but never mind. Okay, let's give this one a burnish. Give it all a burnish. Okay, it'll all help it just close better. So just give them all a refold and a redo now that you've stuck that in. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fold, this is my front, so I'm going to fold it over. Let me give it another bit of a squeeze with my bone folder and get all of those lines nice and crisp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of this. You could use magnets. My MAC makeup box has got magnets. I'll just show you the box. This is the MAC makeup box. I pulled it all to pieces to see how it worked. So that's where I've got my inspiration, and it has got some very heavy magnets in there, which I will probably, because I'm tight and I'm scrimper, I will probably take the magnets out of that box and reuse them. Okay, so I want some of this now, and I'm going to do quite a wide section because it's quite a long box. I don't want the person that opens it pulling on it and then, you know, like ripping the card. So I'm going to stick that on there first. Okay, come on, slippery little sucker. And I'm going to aim roughly for the front. Doesn't matter whereabouts I put it really. In fact, I might put it in the middle or a bit lower down, because that flap up there is the same depth, and so wherever I put it, it's gonna cover over, if you know what I mean. Right, now I'm not going to take that sticky off yet and put it on there because I want to do my paper layering, okay? So I've got some of the Petal palette. Can't remember the name at DSP, it's gone out my head. Forgotten. Let me get my trimmer. And I'm going to cut my pieces and I'm going to do it live. Well, when I say live, what I mean is, you know, I'm not going to pre-do it. I'm going to do it now on camera. So I know that this lid here measures 6 by 3 inch. So I want it just a little bit smaller. So I'll have it at 5 7/8. So I'll have it at 5 7/8 by 2 7/8. Yeah, and then that should fit perfectly. So that's for my lid. Okay, and I'm going to do the back and I'm going to do the front. I'm not doing the rest because it's underneath and nobody sees it. So I know that the front and back of my lid will measure 6 by 2. So again here, this piece of paper is still 6 inches, so I'm going to go to 2. So I'm cutting it all from the same sheet. And I want 2 of those at 2 inches. One for the back spine and one for the front flap. And that's all I'm cutting, not cutting them all. Okay. So that's that. So we'll get these attached and I'm going to use my best fuse. And I'm not sure if I want the spot here or... That's the only problem with this DSP. It's so lovely. I never know which side I want to use, but I think I will use the dotter. Hopefully I can get it on straight. Sounds like that's running out. Okay, let's have a look. I hope you can see what I'm doing because it, as I said, it is black DSP cardstock, which is, oh, I've stuck that on straight. I'm quite impressed with myself, which is quite difficult to, you know, to judge really on camera. You could always knock yourself up a template in white cardstock so you can see what you're doing and then have a go in the black. Okay, oh, get off. So this is my spine, is it? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Have I cut that to the right size? I'm not 100% sure I have. Let me remeasure that. 6 by 2. Just a minute. 6 by 2. What have I cut that to? It wants to be 1 7/8. Does that? Cut it to big. Cut it to 2 inches when it wants to be 1 7/8. Thought it would a bit snug of a fit. So the lid panel wants to be 5 7/8 by 2 7/8, and then these two smaller panels, that one's just ever so slightly too big now, needs to be 5 7/8 by 1 7/8. This is why I like to do absolutely every single process on camera. You know, because something can crop up, can't it? Can think of, but there's always ways to rectify it. Okay, let's get that on there. My dogs are yapping in garden now, probably a cat. There we go. Okay, so now I can, if I open my box up, if I take this off of here, which is tricky because it's cheap stuff that I've got from somewhere. There we go. Okay, now I want my box nice and right. Lift that over. Help myself line it up. Like so. And then I can just give that a press, and here presto. There we go. Okay, we've got our little box there. Right, so now we're going to decorate it. Let's have a look. I have pre-cut these. And these are from the Petal palette. I keep calling things the wrong names. Petal palette, and I've used the framelets. So I stamped this flower and I've cut it out. And I'm just going to really quickly give it some colour using my aqua painters. Squeeze your lid. Pick it up with some colour. Bit of water, I need a bit of water. Bit of water. And I'm just going to smush that. Just smush it, just for some colour. And then go in with a little bit darker colour. Just dotted about. No real... I'm not being super careful. I'm just getting that colour on. And then just adding some darker touches. And then it'll smoosh out with the water as it dries. And job's good. And I'm going to use Bermuda Bay for my leaves because I think it's lovely, 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 lovely colour. I'm in love with this colour. I'm in love with both of them. Just need to squish that. And this black and white paper, you can ink it, you can get your brayers out, you could colour it with these, with your, them ones, what they're called, aqua painters. Do what you want. Do what you want. Right, I'm just adding some, I need some water in there, please. Some random, there we go. Bermuda Bay there. Okay. And I'm doing it really, really kind of, almost looks like I'm doing it shoddily, and I'm doing it like that on purpose. To give it just a quick watercolour effect look. Okay, happy with that. Just put that away. And then I did get some ribbon as well. Although, you know, the box is shut perfectly well with that thingy-my-bob. I just want add some extra colour because it's black and white. It just needs a touch more. So I'm going to just add this. This is Berry Burst, this one. I'm just going to add this to the centre. Okay, I'm not going to tie it too tight. I'm just going to do it in one of them knots, like so. And then I'm just going to trim it there and trim it there. Oof, made a bit of a dog's dinner of that. Let me try it again. Trim. No, not happy. Trim, that's better. There we go. I don't want it to look like a dog's dinner. So that just adds some extra colour. I'm just going to slide that down there, I think, like so. Sit nicely, please. Thank you very much. Right, I've coloured both of these, but I don't think I'm going to use both of them. I think I'll just use the one. And I am going to put it on dimensionals, so it stands nice and proud, as they say. Okay, so one there. If you make one of these at home and you do watercolour it, wait for it to dry. I haven't time when I'm demonstrating. I'll just have to put mine on soggy. Mine will have to go on wet. Oh dear. I just hope it doesn't look like a big soggy mess. It won't do. But yeah, leave yours to dry. I'll save that for something else. You could make a little, a really quick little 6x6 note card to go with it. Would it fit on a 6x6? No, it wouldn't. Would it? Yes, it would. You could put that on a you know, not 6x6, a little 3x3 note card. It would fit. I can never remember which ones I've took the lid off, you know, the paper off of. So I'm just going to stick that on there like so. So that looks really nice. Let's move all of this junk out the way. And I am going to do some stamping now, and I'm going to do a sentiment. I'm going to use, what am I using? Let's have a look what we got here. I really like From the Heart. I think that's really nice, but I think I'll have Best Wishes, because then that's nice for a birthday, isn't it? And I don't think I've used that one. So we'll have that. I'll put it on a block. Best Wishes. I'll get my black ink. Although it might be nice in a berry burst, but I'm going to do black. Because my berry burst is somewhere else. It's not here. Okay. So, let's get that on there like so. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning font, that. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Don't know if I'm going to layer it on some card or what. I don't know. Let me see if... I'm not sure if it will fit in here or if it will cut the words off. It might. Ooh, just look. Just fits in that banner punch, that label punch there. So I'm going to use that just for quickness. There we go. Job's a good one. Okay. So we've got our Best Wishes there. I might just layer it on some ribbon. Let me see if I can get it to look somewhat like. Hold on. Would you do it like that, maybe? Don't know. Let's have a look. No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just cut one way, and then I'm going to stick it on. Can you tell I'm making it up as I go? It's not like me, is it? I think I'll have it that way. I'm going to stick that on that ribbon. Why not? Stick it on like that, and then I'll cut the other one the other way. Yeah, like so. No, that's not right. It's that way, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's it. There we go. So I've used some ribbon as my background there. And I think I will then stick that on with some more fast fuse because I don't want it falling off. Okay. Now, shall I have it like that or shall I have it like that? I think I'll have it... I'll have it straight. I'll be good. I won't try and be too different and have it all wonky and silly. So we'll have it on there like that. Okay. Now I do feel like it just needs a bit of a lift. So let me have a look what embellishments I have here. I might use some of these glitter enamel dots. They're pretty, aren't they? Let's have some of these on my perky tool. That size. Yeah. Just adds a little bit of sparkles, and it's subtle because it's the same colours. So I'm not adding, you know, some rhinestones, which might just be a little bit too much. Just little glitter enamel dots, and I might even just put one in the middle of my bow there. No, don't. No. Changed my mind. Can I fit one on my sentiment? Let's have a look. Yes. I'll have one there. There we go. That looks pretty, doesn't it? So there you go. Complete from start to finish. My lovely box. And it will open and it will fold flat. So I hope you like it. It's quite a decent size, is that? I hope you like it. I hope you'll give it a try. And I'll see you again soon. Don't forget, all of the measurements are over on my blog at scrimpingmommy.co.uk. Don't forget, you can actually buy this stuff from me. If you click my shop now button on my blog, you can go and have a look what we've got for sale. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.